Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 2, where we jumped back in time because the crisis situation that developed was incredibly non-advantageous in that we were just going to get completely wrecked, with no real way of coming back whatsoever, and it was basically going to be a game ender. So, lesson learned, stay away from crises. In the meantime, we're working on catching up, and I think I'm going to go to speed 5 for now as we work on catching up. And during that time, we will continue expanding various railroads. Let's see, we're already good to go over there. Excellent. So we need to get to about 1915, and the game is definitely feeling a little laggy on speed 5, but that's to be expected. We're getting towards the end game anyway, and the crisis is not currently developing, but we can do a reform, and the question is, which one do we want to go for? It looks like the highest militancy, or rather radicalism, for the movement is the campaign for old age security, so we're going to go for low pensions. We're not going to pay the pensions, but we'll have them. I'm sure they'll be happy about this. And we are building a whole bunch of railroads. Any other places we can? Yes, absolutely. We will build additional railroads in additional places. Let's see, we can't build there. We just researched empiricism. We'll go for analytic philosophy next. And let's see, we can't really build railroads in the mountains. That is to be expected. This is a decent-ish upper house. We can expand here, and so we shall. And here. And here. Lots of places we can expand our railroads. Paper production output, that's nice. We don't make any paper. We can expand here, and so we shall. And I think we just can't... Actually, we can. We just don't have the money. Okay, artillery factory has now been built. We are encouraging clergy, so that's fantastic. Our research points are coming up. Quite nicely, in fact. We're getting quite a lot of research points. 1913 for analytic philosophy. We have elections starting. We're just going to breeze through those. This episode is primarily about catching up. So, anti-military. We are currently primarily pacifist. Well, it's kind of a third. Pro-military, anti-military, pacifism, even split. We'll go for this. That's nice and easy. Celebration of freedom. Excellent. Truly something particular. We'll go for more militancy reduction at the cost of a little bit of consciousness. Sounds good to me. Okay, we've got some railroads finishing up. Most people appear to be in favor of planned economy or interventionism. Nobody's in favor of laissez-faire, so we're going to go for this. Fantastic. We're finishing up a whole bunch of railroads. Let's continue building additional railroads. See, that's maxed out now. Halfway between limited and full citizenship. Okay, nobody supports residency whatsoever, so we'll choose that. Fantastic. Additional railroad construction. As expected. Hang on, what was this? Socialist is currently in charge. But it looks like they didn't break any of our factories, so that's fine. They can do that. We just discovered pragmatism. That's very pragmatic of us. Lover exposed. Oh boy. We'll become more in favor of free press. What could possibly go wrong? And then we just can't build there. Okay, so that's all of our railroads for now set up. And then we are going to build a few additional factories up here. First off, we've already got our fabric factory, so that's going nicely. And then we need to get our regular clothes factory, which inputs fabric. And then after that, we are going to need to get our... Let's see. We would want a luxury clothes factory, which inputs regular clothes and silk, I believe. I think that's what that is anyway. So we're going to build that right now. And then we can build a dye factory here. We don't have the tech for a dye factory quite yet. We're working on it. But we can build a luxury furniture factory here. And we're just going to concede the point on Ethiopian Benin. We're going to lose the prestige. I don't care. I would rather lose the prestige than have a great war break out over Ethiopian Benin. It's perfectly fine. We're going to go for phenomenology and hermeneutics here. There we go. Fantastic. It's currently 1913. As soon as it gets to 1915, we're going to go back down to speed 3. Because at that point, we will be caught back up to the other timeline, as I accidentally minimize the game. There we go. That's better. Victoria 2 doesn't handle minimizing quite as gracefully as some of the other games. Rubber vulcanization, that is huge for us. Absolutely enormous. Look at how much money we're making right now. Let's go ahead and tax... Oh, we're at the minimum tax that we can do. Oh my, okay. Let's go ahead and bump education up to like 50% then. We're led by socialists, so this should be fine. Administration also up to about 50%. No, not 77%. I wanted you at about 50. There we go. And let's also do some social spending. We'll actually pay for these pensions. Alliance offer from the Ottoman Empire. How strong are they? They're not at all. Okay. We'll do it just to hopefully dissuade people from declaring on us. Okay. So we are going to be constructing not railroads for a while, looks like. Oh, we can build a railroad here. And we're going to do that. We could build one here as well, technically. And one here. And we're going to do that. And then we're going to hop in here. And, oh, we already got all of those queued up, actually. So that's perfectly fine. We could maybe think about expanding our cement factory, which we haven't done yet. We're absolutely going to do that. Because that's what we did before, and there's a good reason for that. It just takes in coal and produces cement. And we have lots of coal, so that's great. Analytic philosophy has been discovered. Again, that is fantastic. Empiricism has been discovered. That is, again, fantastic. So this will be done on 30 August 1915. And then we'll go for anti-rationalism as our final philosophy tech here. And that will be absolutely fantastic for our research points. However, it is about time to go down to speed 3, which we are going to be doing, actually, right now. It is now 1915, and we are basically caught up. Fantastic. And we have no crisis. That's what I like to see. We do have a lot of money, though. The question is, what do we want to do with this money? I wouldn't mind expanding a factory. Like, maybe expand the fabric factory for right now? We're going to need a lot of fabric, after all. So something along the lines of that. And now I'm going to go ahead and... We're buying up stockpile here of our iron. And I still wonder... Oh, we didn't actually have the stockpile set up in this timeline. Okay, that's fine. I still wonder why we can't have our factories feed out of our stockpile, but whatever. It would be better if we could, because then we can just stock up a massive amount whenever we can, and then burn off that slowly with our factories when it's not available on the market. That would be the ideal way to do it, but alas. That seems to not be the way that the game is set up. So what tech do we need for the dye factory? That was organic chemistry? Yeah, okay, that's what we're going to go for next after we get anti-rationalism. But it's still going to be a little bit before we have that. In fact, quite a long time. But I want to rush that tech so that we can get some of our other techs much, much faster. But this is nice, isn't it? Not being invaded by the UK. Still having Sokoto. That's definitely a lesson learned. Unless you're a great power, avoid that kind of thing like the plague. Which makes sense, because if we were a great power, I think we would be the leader in it, and if we're the leader, then we can just do whatever. To some degree. But, the way it ended up working out, where France was pretty much guaranteed to just give away Sokoto, I would rather take the prestige hit every time. So realistically, it might just be a better policy going forward to just always take the prestige hit. I don't know. Maybe that isn't the best policy, but under certain circumstances, like if you're the global power, the global superpower, then sure, just do whatever you want. But under most cases, I feel like that's not a great idea. Okay, I'm just going to max the education budget for right now, because we don't have a whole lot to spend this money on. So let's max the education budget. Let's also bring the administration budget up to about 60%. About like that. And we are about to get this tech finished, so that is fantastic. That's going to give us 100% increased base research points. So that is going to be a huge bonus for us on a daily basis. There we go. Anti-rationalism is next, which gives us additional prestige, it looks like, but this is going to take how long to finish? About 2 years. Fair enough. That's not too bad, realistically speaking, for a top-level tech like this. I'm pretty okay with that. We do need to continue encouraging clergymen, and of course we need a lot more craftsmen over here in Kordofan. That is very, very clear. But then once we finish this tech, then we can hop over to industry, grab organic chemistry, which will allow us to build a dye factory. And I don't know what the dye factory takes as an input. Like, I really, really don't. I wish it showed up grayed out here, but it doesn't. So I have no idea what we need to produce for the dye factory. What I do know is that we need a lot more craftsmen in Kordofan. We could use additional craftsmen in Sudan as well, but Sudan is going okay, realistically speaking. To the point where, do we want to expand a factory again in Sudan? I mean, we've got plenty of money. It's not like money is an issue. I mean, we could even start expanding forts. Do forts cost anything in this game? They don't appear to. Like, railroads are great for economies. But I feel like forts might be a decent thing to spend money on. What else are we going to spend it on, ultimately? Border provinces first, obviously. Wait, did that one actually go? No, it didn't. Okay, there we go. And we've managed to spend most of our money. Excellent. Our literacy is also coming up, which is good. We still need another 0.5% there. Whoa, hang on. This crisis happened anyway? Did I misclick something? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump back 12 days. There was an autosave 12 days ago. Did I miss something? Let's see. Did I just click through something and create that, or did the crisis just happen? Let's see. I mean, we are building forts over here. Nothing popped up this time. That seems to be completely different then. I guess it was just a random chance. I'll have to check the video. I don't think... Yeah, absolutely nothing popped up. Okay. So it happened a couple days later this time. The USA is going to back us. And they're the leaders here. The Russian Empire has decided to back Sokoto this time. France is still yet to decide. I mean, the USA is going to reject that. So the question I have then is, what triggers that? Because I didn't see any sort of an indicator of that. Maybe it's just high militancy in East Houseland? And then the next question is America just going to give it away? The way France was. So this is USA versus Russian Empire. USA has no allies. They're 581 strength versus 592 for Russia, but Russia's allied with UK and France. Oof. I think America is just going to give it away. But I guess we'll have to see. Unless the USA gets some allies, I don't see them winning that. But yeah, that was nothing that popped up for me. That was purely just diplomatic tensions causing this. And I have good relations with everybody but Spain, and Spain isn't involved in this. So I don't know how this started, but I guess we'll see how it pans out later on. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.